Well, hello and welcome to all of our viewers around the world. I'm Fiona Lang-Sharp, IBCLC, Director of Communications and MC here at Gold Learning. And we're back at it today talking about our upcoming Gold Lactation Conference 2024. Can't believe it. It's right around the corner. I talked about this anticipating palpable behavior as we get so excited. We're down to the wire. We're talking to all of our speakers and we're talking about what's coming up. Today, I'm very excited to have Jessica Altemara with me here today. Jessica, we've had so much fun today getting ready. I feel like it was fun. I mean, the topic, I know we've got lots to get into in just a minute here. I'll let you know, everyone who's listening in, we're going to be talking about lab work for targeted and individualized support for low milk production. So, of course, this is a big topic, low milk production, hot out there, because everybody wants to know what they can do about it, how they can shift, what's happening, and even I think sometimes shift the narrative, of how, we get to the point of understanding more about it. So Jessica, tell me briefly, how did you get into this topic? Why are you talking about it? Tell me.
So, about 11 years ago this month, I had a sort of friend slash client situation, and she had a history of low milk supply. She was pregnant with what she expected to be her last kid. She had all the resources. She had great insurance, plenty of money to pay for labs, a doctor who would order whatever she asked for. It was a perfect situation. And she's like, what lab should I get so we can figure out what I need to like optimize my milk supply? And I was like, cool, let me find out. And because I'd never had that kind of freedom. And I tried, and it wasn't a thing. Like there wasn't really like a list. Here are the labs. Here are the results we're looking for. This is what we do if we want to go below the surface to optimize milk supply or understand where like the glitch in the hormonal system might be.
Mm-hmm.
And so I hyper focused and dived into it, and it's been an evolving process ever since because even when it doesn't help, it's validating for the people that I go through this process with, and that is my biggest motivator.
So tell me, I'm like a little bit winded from this conversation, Okay, so wait, what? There isn't a list. What's happening? Seriously.
Right?
Because I think anyone, in the medical field, healthcare as sorts, we are somewhat reliant on our labs. Let's face it. How many times you go to a family doctor, okay, let's get some labs on that. Let's do that. Let's do your full labs. You haven't had them done in a while, blah, 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 right? We're always talking about it. We get into lactation, and then all of a sudden, this is where my breath is taken away. Jessica got faced with this question and she's like, wait, what? What's going on? So tell me what has evolved for you in this time. That was how many years ago? 11 years.
11 years.
Yeah, you got to try it out. Now it's still evolving. Have we improved at least? Tell me some good
Oh,
news.
for sure. I think there's far more research to utilize as far as the endocrine aspects. We've learned a
Sure.
lot about like there are things that as I've been like in the last 5 or 6 years, a lot of studies have been done exploring that. Did you know that we don't fully know what triggers prolactin?
Right.
And so I think that's become a mystery enough that it's compelled people to do more research who aren't necessarily invested in like lactation itself, but like the
Right.
mystery of this thing we don't know.
Yeah.
And so I think that there is more research being done,
Sure.
and keeping up with it. My vocabulary has expanded so tremendously.
Well, I
Like,
appreciate that. I'm gonna lean in, Jessica. I'm gonna lean in.
but also the hardest part of things evolving has been not having a list of like a 30 like labs long list, right?
Mhm.
Like trying not to be like, I need you to go and like donate a liter of blood to find out all the things, because you
Sure.
learn more, everything's connected. The feedback loops in our endocrine system are insane. So it's also sort of been having to control myself in my medical detective head and not want all the things every time.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. I think what's interesting too, what I've seen evolve and change and shift is the dynamic of how those results have been read and how that has changed. Where we used to look at certain results and say, okay, well, there we are. That's where it is. And so this is what we expect. And oh yeah, that concludes the situation here. And yeah, shut the door,
Hmm.
And so this is something that has and that has been very damning, I think, for so many families, so many mothers that have wanted crucial answers and understanding and behavior of their body. And they have been shut down by either people that don't know or have been taught differently, right? Because let's just say
Right.
it, things do change. And sometimes, though, I feel like the myths that still surround labs are still out there as well. Um, Tell me what was surprising to you, or what's surprising today that you still think that, we need to do more.
Um, we really need more research about different galactagogues and their mechanism of action and how
Right?
they play into it, because there's a lot that we're guessing about when it comes to what this herb, what this medication does. There are a few things that we really understand the mechanism of action for, but as we gain more understanding of where labs should be,
Mm-hmm.
and I would say that I think functional medicine has done a lot. Like as functional medicine has become more and more of a thing, and we have more doctors and providers who are getting into that, we do have more and more access to people who can do the labs. But as far as knowing which thing helps once we identify what the problem is, I really think we need more research about understanding what does fenugreek do on an endocrine level for us to decide who it's a good fit for. And I would
Right.
like that to be the next step in what's happening.
Well, level it up. I hope someone's listening in right now. You might know somebody right now who's doing that research or who really is passionate about it. I mean, these are the things that I think for those of us who are in the field, we're constantly talking about we need more research. There's so many areas, but let's look at it as an opportunity, right? And that's so that as clinicians, we can continue. Our families, I would say some of them are actually quite desperate. There's some desperation in the community of we want real answers. We don't want to be patted on the back. We don't want to be told, oh, well, it looks like, that's not going to work for you. No one is settling. There is no settling anymore for these types of answers. We want some more honest, true facts, so that we can now evolve, in this field of medicine and continue to grow. What are you looking forward to, Jessica, in sharing with the audience? What is it? Because I know that you've got some real dynamic in your presentation. You're talking about things. What is it you're excited to share?
I am, first of all, I'm excited because, um, you know, this is a journey I've been on for a while, but some of the extra deep dives that I took in preparation for this presentation helped me see some connections that are really strong, really evidence-based, but not like known about. And
Right.
it's blowing my mind that people aren't talking about some of the things, that these connections that I found and these feedback loops that exist and how things overlap with each other. But also, as I've done that, finding that there really are like actionable steps that we can take, that it's not just
Mm,
this academic concept. It's not just
right.
looking at labs or even knowing how to interpret those labs, but also through this journey, as I've taken these extra deep dives for this presentation specifically, I um, also found things we can do that don't require a prescription in many cases, and things
Right.
that I was like, wow, this could be really impactful. And so I'm also really excited because it's not just like conceptual, but
Right.
I'm finding more and more things that we can actually do to do something about the answers that we find for people.
Well,
I'm pretty psyched.
I think you just gave the right answer. I truly said this was not a test, but I mean, if it was, you just answered correctly, 100%. I feel that that's what people are looking for. These actionable steps, things that we can put into real life, We love all the academia. In fact, we've got people talking about it at the conference this year. The translation and knowledge is the tripping point, that doesn't always come through. And thank you so much, honestly, for taking that dive, into this knowledge and, really bringing it to the forefront so we can understand further. So yeah, it's going to be fantastic. Guaranteed. I'm looking forward to it. Jessica, thank you so much for joining me here today. It's been so much fun having you here at Gold.
Thank you for having me. It's been lovely to chat, Fiona.
Yeah, that's awesome. And to all of you listening in, thank you so much again for tuning in today. I can't wait to, be back with you soon with some more interviews and content for our conference. You can head over to goldlactation.com right now, of course, to register. If you're already registered, you're in, you know what's happening. Get all the latest updates and details on the website. You can go online, check out the timelines, check out when Jessica's going to be with us, of course, for that live event. We'll sit down with her and have a further, Q&A after the session as well. You can join in and ask all of those questions. We'll look forward to seeing you, Jessica, very, very soon. And of course, to all of you listening in, I can't wait to sit with you again. Thank you for joining us and have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye for now, everyone.